All right, let's try this again. It is Lunch with Lori live here on Wednesday, October 11th. I can't believe it's the middle of October already. Today I'm going to be focusing on a particular online exclusive paper that is one of my favorites and also one of my favorite stamp sets that's in the annual catalog. Let me show you that. The paper is called Hello Irresistible, and it is has a matching bundle. Excuse me, I have a frog in my throat. A matching bundle that goes with it, but I have only once, I think, used it with the bundle. But it has beautiful petal pink, some yellow, and flirty flamingo in the pink family. You look at this paper; it is so pretty, and the back sides are pretty as well. If you haven't looked on the online exclusives, there are some great ones. This particular paper matches, like I said, the Hello Irresistible bundle that's available online. And these flowers actually can be die cut with the dies from the bundle. I'm not using those today. I'm going to use a different stamp set, but just so you know, I'm going to point that out, as well as the leaves, the die cuts. There are also die cuts that match the leaves. So if you have that bundle, this paper is great for that. It does all the work. You don't have to stamp. So both sides make a great pattern. This one is soft sea foam, and it's just the leaves in the background with some speckle dots on the back. This is a different shade of flower that has some yellow on that paper as well, so the flowers are not as dark. This one is my favorite, the hash mark cross marks. I just think it's pretty. These leaves also different shades that can be die cut. So the Lost Lagoon and the Pretty Peacock came back, were returning colors, and we actually got this paper before those colors were announced, and it was very exciting. Kind of looks a little bit undersea, sort of. All right, and then the last one, I think these are also very pretty. All right, so I'm going to use some of the Pretty Peacock and the Flirty Flamingo today. So those are the two colors that I'm going to focus on today. And that pack is a pack of 48. It's a 6x6 sheet, or a 6x6 package. No, sheets. They are sheets that are in a packet, 48. There's 8 designs with 6 of each. All right, the stamp set I'm going to use today is called Courage and Faith. And I did a summer stamp camp using this stamp set. It was designed by $1 Million seller Natalie Travis. And I met Natalie on the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip last year, and she was amazing. So I did a summer stamp camp with this, and I'm going to show you a couple of those cards. Actually, I changed one. All right, I've already die cut everything and have that ready, so we don't have to worry about that. I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo ink. I have a Flirty Flamingo quarter sheet, and then we're going to make a little fun fold. And then, all right, so I'm going to start with the inside here. I'm going to go ahead and assemble a little bit so that you can, excuse me, goodness, see everything except for the stamping. I'm going to put the white piece on the inside so that we can see to write. I'm not actually going to stamp anything on the inside, but that way when I go to sign it, then that's ready. All right, that's going to be the fold. This is super simple. It looks fancy, but it is truly very simple to use. I'm going to use just the mottled look of the paper so that it's just a background, because if I use that one, that would be way too much, I think. Hope everybody's week is going well today. Was raining when I got out of bed this morning, and I did not want to get out of bed. I was struggling a little bit, and then by the time we left to go take my son to school, the sun was shining, so that makes me much happier. does a lot for my mood and my energy level. All right, so we have this panel put on there, and then we're going to put this piece right on the front. I love fun folds that look super fancy, but truly are super simple. All right, so we put this in the center, just like that. And then that will be the piece that actually opens. My piece of DSP, my little piece that was cut, has flown the coop. All right, so I'm going to use the crisscross marks for this one. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that on the front of the flap. If you're watching, let me know where you're from, how your crafting is going today, or if you're just on your lunch break. All right, so we have this with the piece on the front. And then I die cut this from the Nested Essentials, the Nested Essentials dies. One of my dies is not in the case. I'm going to show it to you anyway. These are great for sentiments. My biggest one is missing there, but you can make banners. And also, these dies that go with this actually fit the stamp set, the Trust in the Lord with All Your Heart. It also fits the, actually all three of these will fit in these dies. Me too, Sherry, me too. I do love fun folds, especially ones that are so easy that make it look like they're fancy. All right, so the Flirty Flamingo ink. Natalie said when she made this stamp set, she wanted to show her faith, but at the same time, she didn't want to sound too preachy. So I have to stand up to do this because I'm not a good sitter-downer. All right, whew, did it. All right, so we are going to put this on the front of the fun fold. And we're going to use dimensionals. So I'm going to go ahead and put the dimensionals on the back, but we are going to wrap a ribbon right around this panel. Okay. And I'm going to use the glittered organdy ribbon. Let me see if you can see that. It is so pretty, and it catches the light, and it can be pink, it can be blue, it can have a green tint to it. Just depends on what you put with it. So I'm going to just wrap this around. You'll be able to see it on the back, but I don't think that's a problem. My roll is almost empty, so I'm just going to cut it. And we're going to wrap this around, and I have to tie a bow on live Facebook right here. It's a little scary, so bear with me. About halfway down on this panel, we're just going to tie a bow. If you came here for bow tying lessons, I apologize. You're not going to get a very good one. We can make cards all day long, but bow tying is not my thing. And that one is upside down, but we're going to go with it. All right, so we have the bow. We can put the tails of the bow down. I should title this Watch Lori Struggle Making Bows. That would probably be a better title to this Facebook Live. All right. So we have our bow that I'm not happy with, but we're going to go. And then we're going to put the sentiment right on top of that. I put the dimensionals on there because if you lay it flat, then the ribbon will help it not stick. So we want to make sure that this sticks on there. Put it off to the side a little bit. And there you have it. You can even tuck that little piece behind there so that it's not in the way. And you have a great little fun fold card. All right, so that's the first one. Oh, I had already made one previously. Oh, I didn't put gems on. Last week we used the Bloomin' Pearls. We got to use Bloomin' Pearls again because they actually match. The Pretty Peacock and the Petal Pink are both two of the colors in the DSP. So we need to use that. And I don't have my Take Your Pick tool right here handy, so I'm going to use the tip of my scissors and just put in a couple of dots just to make it pretty. Let's see, let's put one up here. No, I don't like that there. Luckily, they are removable, as long as you don't stick them down too far. Let's see, I'm struggling today with my placement. Maybe I do like it there. Oh, wait. I'm going to switch it to a small one. I'm going to do another small one right here, and then I think I'll be happier. All right, there we go. Bloomin' Pearls to the rescue. All right, so there's the two designs. I used the same background piece for both. Oop. The same background piece, just a different piece, a pattern on the flap. All right. Now I'm going to move on to the Pretty Peacock, which is so pretty. If you don't have any Pretty Peacock in your stash, you need some. It is a beautiful color. All right, I have die cut using the tailored tags. I've cut a white one for my sentiment and also a green, also a background pattern from the Designer Series paper. You could use either side, but I'm going to use the more solid piece. All right. This one's not nearly as difficult as the other one, and the other one was not even hard. All right, so let's put the Designer Series paper down on one of the white panels. So we have a nice white border. And this one's going to go vertically, so we need to fold it in half. All right, and then the white panel will go directly on the card front. I guess you could put that on dimensionals if you so chose. It wouldn't be too tall. Oh, got my Bloomin' Pearls. My Bloomin' Pearls got in the way. All right. Put your panel on the front. All right, so there's the card front. I'm going to set that aside for just a second. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and put the inside piece. If y'all enjoy seeing me struggle with things, you can know that today I'm tying two bows, not just one, I'm tying two. So for your, giggling enjoyment. All right, so that's the inside. Now, we're going to stamp Trust in the Lord with all your heart right on the front, on the tailored tag. Just centered right in the middle. Hopefully that's straight. Makes me so nervous to stamp when people are watching me. All right, now at this point, you could tie your bow through the hole, or you can tie a bow. I'm actually going to tie a bow to go on the top, still using the same organdy ribbon. I'm just going to tie a bow, which is easier than on the other card, because this one I can play with it a little bit. Much easier. My friend Sarah can tie a bow. She could tie 35 bows on this roll, and I'm just amazed. I just tie one, and I'm happy. All right. I can't even do one properly. All right. We'll cut the tails off. It's a decent bow. I need one of those bow makers. Or someone who just makes my bows for me might be a better choice. All right, I'm going to put just a little adhesive on the back of the white die cut piece. And I'm going to offset that, a little cattywampus, it's my favorite word, off from the green, just so you can see a little bit of the green. Then I'm going to use dimensionals, and I'm going to put this on the card front. 2 is probably good. And then we'll put that on the card front. I don't want it to be straight. I want it to be a little off, like this. Then I'm going to take a glue dot. Glue dots hold ribbon on very well, and you can see the glue dots on the roll. Just take your ribbon or your bow. Don't touch the glue dot because then it'll stick all over your fingers, your fingernails. Just stick the ribbon directly on the roll and peel it up, and your glue dot is stuck to the back of the ribbon. And then we're just going to put that, except I got my finger on it anyway, because that's how I roll. Put it right on the top. Hopefully your bow is tied tight enough to hold it on there. All right. And my previous sample was the same as this one. Let's put a couple of Bloomin' Pearls. Let's put on, these are the Pretty Peacock, so they match our thing. I'm just going to put a couple that side, and then maybe one on this side. Again, embellishments are typically in patterns of odd numbers, whether it's 3, 5, 7. If you wanted to add 9, you could get crazy and put 9 on there. I don't think I would do that though. That seems a little overkill. All right, so card number 2. And then for card number 3, I'm going to come back to the Flirty Flamingo side. And I'm going to use an embossing folder. Actually, I've already used the embossing folder, but I'm going to let you pick which. This is the card that I'm going to make for you. Now, I'm going to, it's Flirty Flamingo card base with a petal pink panel. This one is done with the cane weave embossing folder. So I have one of those, and I also have one of the new basics polka dot embossing folder that comes in a set of 3. It's also an online exclusive. So I'm going to use one of these two. So I'm going to let you pick which one you might want. So think about that for just a second while I put the other pieces together. All right, fold my card. Have that ready. And I know that this is the DSP that I'm going to use for my front piece. But I'm going to show you a little tip for saving paper. If you, oh my goodness, if you have all your pieces together, that's great. You need, this is the decorative circle punch, and I'm going to punch this circle right from the middle of this piece. So we didn't use any extra paper, and the circle cutout is in the middle, and we are going to glue this piece right over the top. So then you won't be able to see it, and no one will know that you took that out of the middle. The part you have to be careful with a little bit is make sure that you just go around the edges so that you don't get adhesive all over your fingers or all over things that you don't want, because that will stick. All right, so your designer series paper, you probably see it a little bit in the light where that circle is. It's cut right out of the middle. I'm going to go ahead and put the dimensionals on that piece. If you're watching this, let me know there's anything that you'd like to see and for future, one of my next things will probably be a Christmas card series. We'll probably do several weeks of Christmas because it is almost the season. All right, so I have 2 embossing folders. I have the cane weave and I have the polka dots. Does anyone have a preference? This is what the polka dot will look like. Or I think I'm going to choose the cane weave because the pattern is a little bit, it's different than the other one and it shows up a little more. So unless anyone speaks up and says use the polka dot, I'm going to use the cane weave. All right, this one I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive all the way down the edges so that it will stick. It's flat enough on the back side that I think it will stick on there. Sometimes embossing folders don't stay very well when you use adhesive and not dimensionals, but I think this one will work. All right, so we have our piece. And I'm going to put this piece on with the dimensionals because on the front it is a little bit rougher and that won't work. All right, put that right here. All right, I'm going to use the ribbon in a different way today, or for this card. All right, I have my white, white. All right, so I just need to stamp my words for this one. And this one we're going to do Be of Good Courage. Stamp that. You can see that I've gotten a little glitter from my ribbon on my ink pad. Oops. All right, then I'm going to punch that using the 2-inch circle punch, which the punches had all gone away, and I was so glad to see that at least 2 of them have come back. The 2-inch and the 1 3/4 are back. They're listed as online exclusives. I'm using a whole lot of online exclusives today. That wasn't actually on purpose. So you can see those on the Stampin' Up! Website, and if you look on What's New, there is an online exclusive section. So you can see those there, along with the bundle that matches this beautiful paper. All right, dimensionals. It's funny how things can disappear in a 2.6 second time frame right in front of me. All right, now we have our dimensionals on here. Now this one, I am not going to tie a bow because y'all have suffered enough for that. I'm going to just tie, just make a little loop. Just a loop like that, kind of like, I would call it the Cancer ribbons. And I'm just going to cut that. And I'm going to, oh, actually before I put it on, I almost forgot to show you something really fun. This is a white ribbon. It's pretty see-through, it's sheer, but we're going to take our Flirty Flamingo ink pad. I'm going to use a blending brush. And you can do this with any color, any white ribbon. Last week, I believe we've colored with blends. And we're just going to take our blending brush and we're going to make this ribbon Flirty Flamingo. It's going to be a Flirty Flamingo organdy sparkle shimmer ribbon. And you can do it as much or as little as you want, but it'll just give it some color so that it's not white anymore. And you can see next to this one the difference in the color. This one is pink. And you won't necessarily know that it's fully Flirty Flamingo just because of the shading, but you can see that they are different. All right. So we're going to, and then it dries pretty much instantaneously. You won't, if you were going to use a marker, it would dry, take a longer time to dry, but. So I'm going to put this on the back of here, and typically I would use Scotch tape, but if you don't have Scotch tape handy, then you can just use adhesive, or you can even use a glue dot. I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back. and hopefully that will stick where I want it to. I apologize. I think there's an ambulance coming down my street, and you'll be able to hear it momentarily. We live on a main road on the route to one of the main hospitals here in St. Louis. So we get these all the time, and I don't think about it until it's too late, or it's... All right, so we get the ribbon on there. And then I have loud noises in the background for my class, or I'm on the phone, or on a Zoom call. All right. Scotch tape is my friend, but it's in the kitchen drawer. All right, so we have the loop, and then we've got the dimensionals on the back. We are just going to place that right in the center with the loop. And then we have Flirty Flamingo. No, we don't. We have Petal Pink, Bloom and Pearls, but I think they'll be okay. I think they're good. Again, I struggle with knowing where to place them. Take Your Pick tool is your friend as well. I did not gather all my supplies. And then you have your third fun card. All right, so let me show you the cards again from today. We used 3 of the 4 stamps in the set. I can show you the 4th. Actually, I don't have one handy of those. This is another one that we made. Actually, this is one we made in my stamp camp with the paper being split, but we colored the ribbon, used a vellum circle, kind of the same idea as this one, just a little different. And then this card is exactly the same as this one, except it has different words and a different designer series paper there. Same ribbon, different gems, because this was from a different class. All right, so we have our 3 projects, 1, 2, and the fun fold that we made today. Like I said earlier, the class is free today for you to watch. I appreciate that you were all here to watch the class. Hopefully you have got some ideas. These could be changed to any words, any designer series paper. You could use any of those. If you would like these card kits, you place a $35 order on my website, in my online store, and I will send you the card kits for free. And then if you place a $50 order, I will send you a pack of Bloom and Pearls so that you can actually embellish your cards as a thank you gift from me. Thanks for joining me. I will be back next Wednesday. If you have any requests, if you're watching this, like I said, if you have any requests on what you'd like to see, let me know. I'll be happy to see what I can do for that. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you next week. Have a great week.